I stared at the mirror, not really seeing myself, just the failure I believed I'd become. My hands trembled, not from cold, but from the weight of every dream I'd let slip away. What's the point anymore? I thought. I'd tried so many times, and yet, life kept knocking me back down. The voice in my head was loud, cruel, convincing. You're not good enough. You never were. Ever since high school, I'd lived in the shadow of self-doubt. I wanted to be a writer, but every time I opened a blank page, the fear screamed louder than my words. I watched others chase their goals while I stood frozen, convinced I didn't belong among them. Rejections piled up, jobs I didn't get, stories no one wanted, people who said they believed in me until I stopped believing in myself. But then, one night, something cracked. I was walking home after another long shift at the diner, rain soaking my clothes, shoes sloshing with every step. A quote flashed across a flickering streetlight banner, "Believe you can and you're halfway there." I don't know why it hit so hard. Maybe because I had nothing left to lose. Maybe because some part of me still wanted to believe. That night, I wrote. Not to impress. Not to publish. I wrote for me. I poured the truth onto the page, my fear, my anger, my sadness. And something shifted. The voice in my head didn't disappear, but it got quieter. A whisper inside me said, "What if you're wrong about yourself? What if you're meant for more?" The next morning, I submitted a short story to a small blog. A week later, it was published. Just like that, a sliver of light pierced through years of darkness. It wasn't a bestseller. It didn't change the world. But it changed me. I began submitting more. Some were ignored. Some were rejected. But I kept going. And slowly, I stopped flinching at the word no. I wasn't chasing validation anymore, I was chasing my own belief. Over time, my world expanded. I started waking up with purpose, my days no longer ruled by hesitation. I joined a writing group. I mentored others who felt lost like I once did. I still doubted myself some days, but now, I had evidence that I could choose belief, even when it didn't come naturally. Looking back, the hardest part wasn't the failures, it was the belief that I was destined to fail. Once that belief cracked, everything began to shift. I didn't suddenly become fearless. But I became willing. Willing to try. Willing to fall. Willing to stand back up. So, if you're listening right now, wondering if you're enough, let me tell you something I wish someone told me. Believing in yourself isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And once you make it, even if you're scared, you've already taken the first, most important step. Because belief is not the end, it's the beginning. And sometimes, it's all you need to see what's possible when you finally decide to walk forward.